Back by popular demand, my third grader Lucy is going to share her favorite reads lately. Hi, I'm Trisha at Juicebox Homeschool, and today I'm excited to have my third grader share some of her favorite reads lately, along with our family read aloud that we just finished. This video is part of a collaboration for a homeschool show and tell, and if you click the link below, you'll get a lot of other book recommendations from homeschool moms, which is always so helpful to build out a list for your next library run. So let's turn the camera around, and Lucy's going to share some of her favorite reads lately. Okay, the first book I wanted to share was the read aloud that we just finished. It's called Smuggler. It's been sitting on our bookshelf for a couple of years now, and this is the time I finally thought we were ready to read this all together as a family read aloud. We've read a lot of the YWAM Publishing biographies of Christian missionaries, and I've seen this book recommended a lot with people who also like those biographies. What I liked about this book is that there was a lot of adventure, there was a lot of talk about him traveling to different countries, and also how difficult it was to just share a Bible with someone and to have access to Bibles. And what I took away from Brother Andrew's story was just valuing the Word of God, not taking for granted how easy it is for us to access Bibles, and how people in other countries reacted to receiving their own copy of a Bible. Even pastors of churches in other countries don't have their own copy, and it really made the Bible just feel like a treasure. So I'm really glad we got to read this as a family, and my third grader Lucy is here to share her thoughts too.
Hi, my name is Lucy, and what I liked about this book is God provided for Andrew. Like, Andrew needed a certain amount of money, and so he prayed to God, and God gave him the exact amount of money. And so this teaches a lesson about that God provides for us. And these are American Girl books, and I recently read these two. What I like about this book is that I can relate to this girl, and also it was set in 1934, so I can also learn the history. And I also really liked the pictures in it. This story is about a girl named Kirsten, and she's trying to be Saint Lucia, but all her stuff is in a trunk, and she wants to get them, but her dad says he has to wait until she can get them because the trunks are really far away. So when they actually got them, her father twisted his knee, so Kirsten had to lead the horse back. When they went to the house, they got all their stuff back, and Kirsten quickly dressed and said, "Saint Lucia invites you to breakfast. You want to see something cool? Harry Kitten and Tucker Mouse, but then Chester Cricket's Pigeon Ride! 2 books for the price of 1! What? So you may have heard I really liked Cricket in Times Square, and so I was looking for the next book called Tucker's Countryside, but then I found this book. I was reading it, and I put my book like this, and then I went away for a little, and then I came back to the book, and then I saw Chester Cricket's Pigeon Ride. And I was like, what? There's 2 books in 1? And the 2 stories are just as fun as Cricket in Times Square. This story was before Cricket in Times Square, and then it pauses in the middle, and then you can turn to this one after you read Cricket in Times Square, because then you learn all about Chester Cricket, and then you can start reading this story. And it's all about Chester Cricket meeting a pigeon and flying everywhere to see New York. This book is called The Mouse and the Motorcycle, and this story is about Ralph, and he receives a gift from Keith, and he gets a motorcycle, and then he rides the motorcycle into a pillowcase, and then he tries to find his way out because the maid is taking the pillowcase and all the sheets back into the laundry. The motorcycle gets stuck, and the boy gets really mad at Ralph. But then one day, Keith gets sick, and Ralph has to go get an aspirin pill for him, and he needs one of his cars, so he uses the ambulance to get the aspirin pill for him. I've read a lot of the Beverly Cleary books, including the whole Ramona series and the Henry Huggins series, and so I tried reading this Ralphus Mouse series, and I loved it. Chef's kiss. Wee, 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 wee. So the first time I heard about this book was when my mom was reading a read aloud and she read this book. I like to reread the books and I also kind of forgot about this. And so I went to her bookshelf and I read it again and I loved it. And I like this book because the stories include all of the sisters and the brother named Charlie. And they're always really exciting. And the stories remind me of my own brother and sister. This is part of the Generous Kids Book Club. It talks about not being greedy and have stinking thoughts about others when it really isn't their fault. It is a picture book and it is kind of easy for me to read, but the message is really good. And this story reminds me that I should have generous thoughts about others. Okay, I got this one for Christmas and I love it. It's called Fun Riddles and Trick Questions for Kids and Family, 300 riddles and brain teasers that kids and family will enjoy. And I love riddles just as much as books. And I thought I might give you a little sample of a riddle. Katie and Joey sneak into their mother's kitchen to eat her fresh baked blueberry pie. Joey's face is smeared with pie, but Katie's face is clean. When they hear their mom's footsteps, Katie jumps up to clean her face while Joey sits still. Why doesn't Joey move? The answer is Katie sees the mess on Joey's face and assumes that hers is just as messy. Joey sees Katie's face and assumes his is clean like hers. You get it? This book is called Benjamin's Treasure, and it's about this rabbit named Benjamin, and he's trying to catch a fish, and then his boat crashes, and he lands on an island, and he tries to get help from that tiny little ship over there. He keeps digging a hole, and then he finds treasure. And so he thinks he could just float away in the treasure chest, but he could also take some home for his wife, Emily. But he also needs to find a way to get out. And so he invites this turtle for some lunch. And he says that he found some treasure. And the turtle just says that it's useless because pirates had already found it and it gave them no luck. Because the turtle said, your friends will become jealous and you will suspect everyone. And so he tries to find a boat and he tries to sail away, but then he gets attacked by monkeys. And then he goes back home and Emily finds a pearl in his ear. What? Benjamin told Emily that he had the most valuable treasure in the world. And you might know what he's gonna say, cause it is kind of a love story, but it's fine. So these are all the books I've been reading, and what have you been reading? Let me know in the comments. And if you like books as much as I do, give this video a thumbs up. See you in the next video. Bye! Wee, 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 wee. Bye, bye.